Hello everyone and welcome to a speed build, and what we have today is a horse ranch, modern ranch, and it is on the 64 by 64 lot that's down the bottom of Chestnut Ridge. So it is the biggest lot in the world, and yeah, this is going to be fun. I actually really enjoy building ranches. I have built a lot of ranches since Horse Ranch came out, and I'm probably still not sick of them. I really like them. This particular one I did build in, or start building in August, and then I found it the other day and I was like, oh, I forgot to finish this. So it's partially built like back in August, and then partially built back in what month is it? October. So half and half. There we go. But I think it came together really nicely. So I went with lighter coloured woods and the stone, and as you can see here I'm just working on an entrance sort of area with the columns and making it look very westerny, horse ranchy, but it will have that modern vibe. So it's going to be quite a clean shape, I guess, to the build. Maybe that's the best way to say it. But yeah, and it's going to have like wraparound porches and stuff like that. And I did like little, what are those called? What are those little fake rooms called? Is there like a particular name for those? I should look that up. I never pay attention to like the names of things when I'm placing them, which is probably terrible, but it is my way. So as I said, so we're going very wood and stone, which I think is in keeping with a horse ranch vibe, because pretty much everything is sort of wood or stone. So, you know, not so much with the brick, just more with the wood and the stone. And this is actually a limited pack build as well, so I only used base game and horse ranch for this particular build. So there you go. I will upload this on the gallery, and if you want to take a bit more of a look at it, you can do so then and decide whether or not it's going to be your cup of tea. I think it turned out quite nicely. Just a little bit of bias though. I'm the one that made it. Although, to be fair, I'm also my my own harshest critic as well. I just see all the mistakes and, you know, things like that when I'm building, or focus on them, I guess, as you do. So I'm just getting all the windows in there. I'm just using all the horse ranch windows, and I think that's the horse ranch paving as well. So I'm just cutting off the, I guess, living part of the property, and then like the back half of the property is going to be more focused on the stable, and there's going to be workers accommodation as well as a nectar maker accommodation. So it's actually going to be quite a lot of bedrooms, but in the main house there's only going to be 2, and they're very large bedrooms though, and quite fancy. So, you know, it's for the fancy owner kind of styles. And throughout the house I sort of mix in greens and blues, and just to contrast the wood a little bit. So you see there I'm going with blue on the outside of the building there, and I'm using the darker wood to contrast with the lighter wood, because too much light wood was just washing the building out. So I went with the darker wood for the flooring on the porches. And so I'm just building up the columns for some more of the woodwork, I guess, that goes onto the porches, you know, just like supporting beams and that sort of thing. And just, I don't know, I think it looks pretty in Western style, which was what I was going for. So I guess mission accomplished there. Some more of the outdoor furnishing, just going out there and just keeping up with the blue on the outside. I would carry through the blue into the workers accommodation and into the nectar house, and then on the interior of this house I actually go more with greens, but you know, the blues and the greens work together anyhow, so I think it looked very nice. So let's continue watching the outside. So just got like the rocking chairs and some plants and the seats and that sort of thing going in there, and then going around to the other side of the house. There was like a lot of porch and not a lot of options for seating, so I mixed it up as much as I could. But yeah, there were some limited choices as far as seating and stuff went because it was such a limited pack challenge, but I think I did all right. So I'm just popping around the back and just working on the back porch area. So I just wanted to give that like a covered in area so that it could, you know, still sit in there if it's like, you know, maybe a rainy day or something like that. They could, or like, you know, even if it's like super hot, you know, you don't want to be sitting in the direct sunshine. So yeah, I just wanted to give them like a little sheltered area that they could sit on under the porch. So I was just putting some more columns around the edge of the of the room sort of columns, if that makes sense, just to give it more definition. And then just putting up the spandrel. So I had to create a room to make that spandrel to make that work. And then I'm just going to draw the, well, not draw, but set the columns around the edge of the larger column. And once again, and you can sort of see it creates a really nice edging. I think that looks pretty. And just adding in the stone just to mix up the medium that we're using. And getting in the stairs, so just using the basic horse ranch stairs there. So then I had to start thinking about what I wanted to do with all of this space, because there's so much space to work with. It's a 64 by 64 build, so whew, lots of space. But I did like a little pool on the porch. I guess I could have done like a big pool, but I decided not to. So there. There wasn't a particular reason, it's just what I wanted to do. And then just using this lovely base game outdoor furniture. I don't know why the seating on that doesn't snap. Like, it feels like it should snap, but it doesn't snap onto the table. So I don't know. Anyway, just one of those little fussy builder things, I guess, where you're doing it and you're like, why doesn't this snap to the table like it should, you know? So I fussed around with getting the seats in the right place and stuff like that for a little bit, and where I wanted all the seating to go. But I really love how it's sort of white and copper. I think it's kind of, you know, fancy and nice, and does well in a nice modern home, I think, that particular set, although I guess you can use it any way you please. And then I had the fun of trying to work out what rug I wanted there. I wanted a rug, but I just didn't know what colour I wanted to go with. So I ended up going with the light brown rug and just throwing in a few more windows. And then I was like, oh, what if we had like an outdoor fire out there? I mean, that would be nice and cozy. You know, it's a cool evening and they're sitting out maybe having a barbecue, and yeah, it's gotten a little bit colder. What about a fire? So I put a fire in. So there we are. So I just extended the stone onto the wall, and I just headed straight round to the back, and I am building the stable. So let me think. I think it's got stabling enough for 6. There we go. Yes, it is 6. So, and I kept it pretty simple. I mean, the stalls don't need to be complicated. When you're building the stalls, you do want to make sure that you have room around the back and the front. The sides don't matter so much, but yeah, around the front and the back, it does matter as to whether or not the horses will actually go into the stall and use it. Just by the way, I found that out the hard way. Yeah, so just make sure that there is that space at the front and at the back, so at least I think maybe a grid should do the trick. So I'm just getting some prairie grass in there, the balls to entertain the horses, and also the training facilities as well. So there's some in-house training facilities. I know there's plenty of training things around the world, but it's so much more convenient if you're doing horse breeding or horse training to actually just have it on site, so you can just pop along and do what you're going to do. I know this because of my 100 horses challenge, where I do have to train a lot of horses and breed a lot of horses, and trust me, it is way easier to have it on site than having to trottle off down the road for it. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm just putting in the workers' accommodation. So I will go back and decorate those later, but this is just going to be the exterior of the accommodations. So this is going to be like a, you know, like a bunkhouse kind of thing. So it's going to have its own kitchen and bathroom. Actually, I think it's going to have 2 bathrooms, and there's going to be a double bedroom. So with a double bed, and then a bunk room, so it's going to have 2 sets of bunks in there, so 4, 5. Technically you could get 6 Sims in there. I mean, obviously if you're going to have 6 horses, you're going to have to make decisions about what Sims, but if you're going to have less horses and more Sims, I mean, you can sort of mix and match however you want to do it. The housing is there. There's plenty of space to sleep, so yeah, and then it's going to be like a single bed in the nectar room as well, so yeah, heaps and heaps and heaps of space to sleep. So I'm just getting some of the terrain paint down, and I just wanted to make it like look a little bit worn, like, you know, the horses go round and round and round that section, so it would make sense that that's kind of, you know, a little bit more worn and muddy and that sort of thing. And just getting in the pathways, so I thought it might be nice to have like a little area where maybe the owners could sit and watch their horses being trained. So that was kind of the idea behind this. It's not meant as like, you know, a big outdoor kind of area. It's more just like, we're sitting here and we're watching our horses being trained by our staff. Will they do well at the races this year? I don't know. Let's have a glass of wine. I don't know what that was, but anyway, that's my impersonation of someone who owns lots of horses. And I apologize to anyone who owns lots of horses. It's my wild imagination, not anything based in reality. So I am just building a little pool, just for decoration, really. That's no purpose beyond that, and they can sit out in the evenings and sit by the cool little pool and cool off after their hard day at work. And I'm just using the horse ranch grasses and horse ranch rocks, and then obviously the base game grasses that go around the pond and that sort of thing, just to add a bit more life to it, because I figure, you know, it's around the green, it's green because it's around the pool, you know, so having a bit more greenery around there makes sense. And I just did a bit of seating around there as well, so that they can sit there and enjoy the pool in the evenings. And I'm just going to do a bit of gardening around the path, just to add a bit more, I don't know, a little bit more garden to the build, I guess. It just looks pretty, that's why. Sometimes, you know, you're just thinking about why you did a particular thing. It's just like, oh, sometimes it's just because it's pretty. It's not, you know, any deep reason. It's just like you want it to look pretty, that's it. And that is the case here. I just wanted, like, you know, a little feature area, really. So then moving on to, speaking of feature areas, another feature area. So this is going to be like a little outdoor seating area. So if they didn't want a barbecue, they more felt like a marshmallow roast or s'mores, or I don't know, I want to roast a weenie. I thought, well, we get a campfire with this with a horse ranch pack, so it'd be quite nice to do like a little campfire. Then I thought, well, you know what, let's do not a shrunken campfire, a lowered campfire. There's a better word for this, I cannot think of it. Anyway, you can see what I'm doing. It's a campfire on a platform lowered down by 1, and then I'm just going to do the seating around there. So it's like, you know, a nice little cozy place where you can socialize in the evenings and go down and enjoy the fire and, yeah, have a little bit of a fun evening. It's kind of the idea behind that. And there's plenty of seating there, so, you know, it could be a place where the workers and the owners congregate and have some fun together. Oh, you could use your imagination on that one. So now we're going back around the front to the other side of the house, and this side of the house is going to be focused on the nectar making. So this is why I'm putting in a huge amount of gardening. So I did end up shifting those over a little bit just to get it a little bit more even, and just doing a bit of terrain paint to give it a bit more texture. And then going in here is our nectar office. So I have drawn a basement underneath it, and stairs going down to the basement. So I think this does get a little bit smaller, because I mean, I didn't need too much room. Basically I just needed a space for a desk a bed, a bathroom, the nectar maker, and stairs down to the basement so that you could store your nectar in the basement. So I did make it a little bit smaller just to accommodate that plan. But as you can see here, just kept it pretty simple. They're just going to have like a little one step up balcony, so no actual stairs needed. And then I was just shrinking the basement underneath as well, because I mean you can fit quite a lot in that basement, so I didn't need that much space. So that is the stairs going downstairs to the basement. And what am I doing now? Oh, just a little bit of garden. There we are. Kept it pretty simple, and then a little bit more garden going around the workers' accommodation as well. Then I decided, no, you know what, I'm going to spread that right around the house. So I did that just to pretty it up some, and just keeping with the vibe of the area. So with the the cactuses and that sort of thing, and the spiky plants. And just extending a little bit onto the end of the nectar office. I felt like it just needed to be less of an oblong. It's like, this is just a rectangle. I think I might add just like a little something to make it less of a rectangle. So I added that little outcropping there and put some planters on the end. So moving into the main house, we're ready to do the interior. Woohoo! So stairs upstairs. I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it? Putting stairs in that go upstairs. Oh dear. Anywho, so using the horse ranch lighting, and I believe those are the horse ranch stairs. It's definitely the horse ranch railing. I'm just working out the floor plan. I was initially going to do a lot more bedrooms, but then I thought, well, there's so many beds, I think, in this build. By the time you count the workers' accommodation and the nectar house, I thought, well, why not just do a couple of really big, luxurious bedrooms? Why not? So this is what's taking shape now. So I'm just kind of doing them as mirrors of each other. So you'll see I will change the colours on this completely. But the furnishings and that sort of thing do very much reflect each other. It's just sort of same furnishings, and then I just change the colours in each of the room. Maybe a couple other little details different, but yeah. I actually think it came together nicely, and there's like fireplaces in each of the rooms, so you can sit there on a colder evening and cozy up and get warm. So I divided the rooms with a wall. The reason for that is I actually wanted to do like a separate dressing area, and then it just kind of broke the room up a little bit, but still kept it open at the same time, because you obviously got the two spaces on two grids on either side of that wall, where you can still walk around and you can sort of see to the other sides. And also thinking practically, the warmth from the fire would still spread throughout the whole room. So yeah, that was kind of the reason for that. It just gave me a way to put in the wardrobe without having to put the wardrobe against the outer wall. Yeah, that's really the main reason, was for the wardrobe, and then I was able to put some other stuff against the wall on the other side when we get to that. So I was just working on the ceiling there and the flooring, so I've done that and went with darker wood. Went with the lighter brown rug, and then I'm just putting in the curtains in the green. So you still see the colour of the room coming together very slowly, but we're getting there. And then I had trouble finding something that would go on this window, because it's such a big window. So I ended up using like the base game curtain with a immaculate shelving over top just to finish it off. So in this particular room, I went with shades of green. So that's the lighter green, and this works with the bed, which was kind of the idea behind that. And I think that ended up looking really pretty. So in the room, you've got, like your rocking chair and your comfy chair and your couches and your TV and your fireplace and your wardrobe, and you've got a computer as well. So, I mean, you could basically just about live in your bedroom very easily. And then there's a bookshelf going in there, and I'll put in a couple of lamps just to the side of that. Just add a little bit more pretty. Oh, and then a mirror, of course, because you need to see what you're doing when you're getting dressed. And then on the other side, I will reflect that again. So it'll be I actually really like these hanging things that we got with Horse Ranch. I think they're quite handy. I wish we kind of had more hanging things that, you know how you get that with Dream Home Decorator, you get the hanging units and you can hang this stuff off them. I kind of want more of those, but just like, or at least just one that you could use in base game. Anyhow, never mind. But some more of those would be also good from other packs. So with this room, I actually ended up with going with the red and the grey that matched the bed. And I don't know, I just really fell in love with this red when I saw it when Horse Ranch came out. I thought it was a really pretty colour. And I was reminded of it when I was doing this room. I was like, oh yeah, you know what? I am definitely going to do that colour scheme because I like it. It's just something a little bit different. And I will carry that red through. You'll see when we go back downstairs. When we go downstairs and do that, I will carry a little bit of that red through downstairs again, and a little bit of the, actually quite a bit of the green will come through as well. So these colours up here in the upstairs bedrooms will actually be reflected in the downstairs as well, which wasn't planned, but I did too. So just getting some of the wall hangings. I do really love that quilt that you get with the Horse Ranch with all the different designs on it. I think it's super cute. So then moving on to the bathroom. So the bathroom situation, I mean, you've only got the one bathroom in the main house, and it's not the biggest of bathrooms, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's just the room that I had, and I just, you know, I could have made it bigger, I guess, but I didn't, and that's that. There isn't a bathroom downstairs either, so yeah, actually none of the bathrooms are particularly big in this build. Like the Nectar one is about the same size as are the workers' accommodation ones, so I think they're still really nice. I think they're big enough they can fit in a bath, and you've got your toilet and your sink, and you know, carrying through all the woods and that sort of thing, and just using the grey and the beige flooring as well, and touches of blue coming through in the toweling and in the wall decorations. So that is our bathroom, and then I just had a little nook down here that I needed to fill with something, so just a seat and a rug. There wasn't much room for anything else. I couldn't put like much of a table or anything in there, so I was like, we'll just leave that. So we're downstairs, and I need to work out the floor plan, so I'm just doing that quickly, placing some furniture, and this is going to be my living room corner anyhow, through here. I will work on the rest of the layout as I kind of go. I didn't really have like a big plan in mind, but I thought, well, this is by the fire, so that makes sense if that's where the living room is, if it's by the fire. So yeah, so that's why I placed that there. I did struggle a little bit with the rug side of things because some of the rugs are just a bit too bright for the build that came with Horse Ranch, so yeah, and then I only had base game otherwise to work with, so it did get a little bit challenging at times with the rugs. So moving on to the kitchen here, as you can see, we're getting the counters in the oven. So just using the Horse Ranch counters at the moment, and it's going to be quite a large kitchen. I did fuss around with these counters for ages because I couldn't get them quite sitting there in a way where they weren't flickering. So I think I worked it out after I ended up filming the tours. I just got it sitting in just the right place. So yeah, so I kind of skipped past me fussing around with those counters for like a zillion years because it wasn't very interesting. It was me just going, stop flickering, stop flickering. Anyway, I couldn't get it to stop flickering, but anyway. I did eventually, but I think I have to double check that. But you can see the clutter going in there, and I already got the sinks in place and the bar stool chairs for the breakfast sort of bar that goes around the outside of the kitchen. So, you know, it's sort of all set up so you can have like a nice friendly breakfast all together if you want to depending on how many Sims you have. So just a little bit more clutter going in there. Obviously it's just base game and horse ranch, so I'm not spoiled for choice with clutter there, but I think there was enough there to make it look homey and lived in. So this is where I'm starting to work out the rest of the shape of the downstairs area. So here is going to be my entertainment area. So I'm just using the towel racks from base game to create my own shelving around here. I like to use these because stuff snaps to them quite easily, so that's quite handy, although not enough stuff. So this is me just working out a color that's going to go behind this. So I will fuss around with the colors a few times. So you'll see it evolve a little bit. So you know, the couches and stuff will change color, and then they'll change back, and the wall will change color again, and yeah, we'll get there in the end. So I actually ended up going with green. There we go. So I changed the colors of the couches and stuff, but as I mentioned, they will change again a little bit later because I just felt it was too much green. So I will change those again, but for the time being I am working on my little entertainment area, so just flicking in all the books and just changing the colours on those quickly, because you know, I've got a really nice range of book colours now, so that's good. And I mean, there isn't too much else that will snap in base game. You know, those little photos, the scissors, oh yeah, the wine bottles, those are good. So I did a few of those around there as well. So it's like, you know, a nice little entertainment area just around the TV. Nice and comfy and lived in. And then just flicking back to the kitchen, I put in the rug and also needed a rubbish bin. So I put that in on the end there. And then working on the dining area. So that's just going off of the kitchen, and I kept that pretty simple with like the horse ranch dining table and matching chairs in the green, so that's carrying through the green theme. And then I was thinking, well, I kind of need something else there, so I put in the horse ranch hall tables and then just kind of use them like a dining stacking utensil kind of area, like a buffet. You know how buffets have like all this plates stacked and stuff like that, like, you know, so if there's like a big family meal or something going on, or a party going on, then everyone can sort of help themselves to their plates and their utensils and stuff like that. That's kind of the idea behind it, anywho. So then I just sort of got a little bit stuck with how I wanted to shape like the hall entrance area and how that was going to work with this room coming off to the side. Yeah, but I eventually settled on these half walls that sort of blocked off the room as such, and then I was able to create like a little entrance area going up to the stairs or off to the side. So I used the horse ranch hanging shelves. Well, I don't think they're actually shelves, but they kind of look like shelves, but I don't think they're actually shelves, if that makes sense. So you can see here I'm just changing the furniture back because I decided that I was going to put the green curtains up, and like by the time I put the green curtains up with the green couches, I was like, no, way too much green. So I went back to the dark brown couches and stuff like that, and then now you can see the red coming through because I'm going to create like a little study area off to the side there. So there's a couple of computers going in and a couch and maybe a bookshelf, some shelves anyway. I'm going to put a couple of plants on just to pretty it up a little bit. I wish there were more small plants that snapped to those shelves. That would be amazing, but you work with what you got. And I mean, it was a little study area, so I just added like your scissors and little pen holder and a picture, and you know, a couple of pictures there going in there. And then so I cut that off a little bit, so it was a little bit more private, I guess, for when you're studying from the hubbub of whatever's going on in the living area, but it's still quite open, so you can walk through there too. And you know, there was room for an end table, so why not put one there? And then going into the interior of our study area, so you've got a couch and a table, and I put a radio on there, so you know, maybe if you're studying you can listen to the radio at the same time. and obviously we need chairs for the desks, and I did a bookshelf and a coffee table, and that's just about the room coming together. I did debate what color I wanted to do the curtains. I ended up going with black. I probably would have preferred maybe a dark brown than the black, but I didn't have a dark brown, so I couldn't do that. So then we are moving on to our little nectar office. I did have a little play around with what I wanted to do with the windows. So ended up going with like the rounded shape one, which looked, I thought, pretty cute with the little exterior extrusion, maybe that's the best way to put that. And then going through into the interior and getting all the windows and stuff in, and just working out how I'm going to shape this all. So just using some more of the horse ranch lighting, and then adding to the brightness of it with just a little 50 simoleon base game light. Railings for some reason weren't working properly down the stairs. I think that might be an actual glitch issue or something. I've seen someone else mention about that glitch with the railings, so yeah, I think I was experiencing that. So then I just put in the nectar storage, because I mean, if you're going to have that much garden, you're going to have a nectar making office, why wouldn't you want to have like plenty of storage? So I put in lots and lots of storage. And then just going back upstairs, just going with the darker floor and the lighter wall, very much like in, or probably exactly the same as inside the main house. And then just doing like a little office nook, so you just got your computer and your chair and your desk. And then I did a couple of lamps on the other side, just so that I've got plenty of vision seeing light stuff. Oh, that was so well explained. Oh, I can't even believe it. So then I had the nectar maker there. I was like, I need to put in a bathroom, but hang on a minute. 3 spaces. I can't really do that with just horse ranch and base game, so I'm going to have to extend that. So I ended up having like a little bit of the bathroom sticking out past the stairs, but I think that worked out okay with the size of the nectar maker and stuff anyway. And just pretty basic on the bathroom, so just went like with the darker wood. In this particular bathroom, just get your toothbrush and your squirter and towels and that sort of thing. So off to the side here, I just once again utilised the half walls and sheltered off that bed a little bit, so that they could have a tiny bit of privacy if they sort of fall asleep after making lots and lots of nectar. And you do get quite dirty with making nectar, so that's why I wanted to put a bathroom in here as well. Because, you know, as I said, you get quite dirty, so you want to, you know, finish your nectar making and hop in there and have a shower. And I did continue the blue in this little room, much like I do in the next part of the build, which is going to be the workers' accommodation. So they're both going to be like a blue theme on the interior. So moving on to the workers' accommodation. So the idea behind this is that they would be a little bit more of a good time kind of house. I'm just working out what windows I wanted to use, and I was like, they're just nothing quite the right size that I wanted. So I ended up stacking the windows, and I think that looked really good. So I was quite happy with that. Anywho, and I'll put some trees on there as well. Because, you know, there was just kind of like a weird space between the two houses, like, I'll just put some trees there. So, ended up stacking the windows throughout, but my whole idea behind how I wanted to decorate this house is that it's just so, you know, it's a place where you can sleep, but, you know, they're kind of like work hard, play hard kind of people. So I will add in like a bar on the outside, and, you know, there's going to be the piano, and yeah, a bit more of like an entertainment space, so when they do have their downtime they can actually, you know, relax and chill, but also have some fun, because it's kind of a bit more of a community atmosphere, I guess, in this particular house, simply because they are sort of living together and working together, and, you know, all the time. That's kind of how I was thinking about it. Anywho, so, you know, you can go outside and you have a drink, you have, you know, some barbecue, and chill out after a long day at work. So you'll see that evolve as I go through and sort of find things in bits and pieces. But once again, just sticking to the lighter coloured walls and the darker coloured floors, so they're just the same throughout all three of the houses in this build. So it's a 3-house build. It's such a big property. And then I'm just using the horse ranch lighting up the top there, as you can see, and just brightening it with a bit of the base game 50 simoleon small little light, hanging light. And then I'm using the darker horse ranch. Sorry if you can hear bottles crashing. That's like rubbish collection day outside. It's like, oh yeah, thank you for that. Anywho, using the horse ranch counters in the kitchen, and then this is me just changing the colours of the paths, realising I want to change the colours, and I have put a hot tub around the back because I thought, you got sore muscles from working the horses all day, so you want to relax in the hot tub, and that carries through to that sort of more party-ish kind of play hard, work hard, kind of vibe that's going on in here. So going back to finish the kitchen because I got distracted by the hot tub idea. And yeah, just keeping it pretty simple with that. And then I was like, changed all the colours to slightly even darker, and then I was like, no, you know what, I actually want to go slightly lighter, so I did that instead. And then just getting in the sink and a dishwasher, coffee maker, because I thought that would make sense for them, and just a little bit of clutter going in there as well, just the basics from horse ranch and base game really, with like the utensil holder and the paper towels. And then I wanted to put some things on top of the fridge, so I just darted into Dream Home Decorator and got the shelf from there, so it would be easier to put stuff up. And I did a little bit of decorating in the corner, which I skipped past because it's been a long build. And just getting in the dining table, so using the round horse ranch dining table in this one with the cow print chairs, which I love. I think they're very cool and funky, but it's just a matter of working out how you want to use them. And so I'm putting some dining hutches in the corner, a bookshelf and light, and a picture and another hanging thing. Then moving on to the hall area, just did the classics there. This is me just checking that I had put up this cleaning thingy. So I did 2 of the hang your hat kind of things up there, and I was just working on putting some bits and pieces on top of the shelf. So I just used the immaculate shelving and shrunk it down. And then I don't know what I was doing there. I think just moving it over because I wanted to put like a couple of pictures up there, and then a rug for the front, and then working on the living area. So it's not like a huge living area, because I think, these people sort of work hard, have a good time, and then are in bed by like, I don't know, 9 because they're up at like 5 or whatever. So they don't have like a lot of downtime where they're inside and that sort of thing. And most of the time, if they can be outside, they are, because I feel like they'd be outdoorsy people, because they're horsey people who want to be outside. That's kind of my feeling on it. So I put a couple of bathrooms in this house, A, because it fit, but B, also in theory you could actually probably fit a lot more people in this house than in the main house, which is bigger, weirdly enough, because you've got more beds, so you've got like the bunk beds and stuff. So you could in theory have 6 people crammed in here and doing their thing. And yeah, so 6 people kind of warrants a couple of bathrooms in theory. So this is me just changing things around on the front porch, because I wanted to add in a bar, because I thought that would be appropriate. And then I was like, oh well, hang on, if I can put the bar over against the house, then I can do like a little covering, so that they can sit out there in the evenings and still have a drink, even if it's raining or something like that. Or if it's super hot and they want to get under the shelter, then they can do that too. So just got the columns going in there just to support the roof, because I mean that's quite a good idea. And then moving inside, we're going to have a look at the bunk bed situation. So the bunk beds are just the basic horse ranch bunk beds, and then moving into the it's not really the master bedroom, but it's the double bedroom. So maybe I was thinking like this might be the foreman's bedroom and his wife, maybe that could kind of be the idea behind it, or just the foreman gets the cushy room. So he gets a double bed, or she gets a double bed, and they get a computer as well, so they can keep up with their paperwork, you know, pay the wages or keep track of who's doing what. So they can get a little computer and a wardrobe going in there as well. And also some curtains, because, you know, fancy. And then I did the little standing horse ranch mirror, and then I did the hall table, but I actually kind of used that more as a vanity kind of sort of thing, you know, with the mirror. Kind of, sort of. So moving back to the bunk rooms, I kept up with the whole keep them entertained kind of idea. So I put in a chess set and a guitar, and I initially was going to put like the treadmill there. I was like, this seems really out of place. So I put the boxing thing there, and this is when I discovered the piano. So I was like, well, okay, well that should go through to the lounge. So I put the piano in the lounge, and then I just put like an easel and a chair there. So, you know, they can have their hobbies and downtime if they get much of it, but I don't think they would. So I think we are just about at the end of the build. I am just working out rug situation. As I said, the rugs were a bit of a challenge in this build because yes, some of the, like, there's some really nice swatches in the horse ranch, but there's some really bright swatches which are a little challenging to match. So yeah, it was a bit of a challenge, but let's take a tour of what we've done, because hey, we're finished. So we're just walking into our lovely horse ranch. So I did put a, what is it called? You know, the dingling that your entrance way kind of thing? Anywho, I put one of those in, and as you can see, we've got a nectar making area off to the side there, and look at that gorgeous porch. I'm very proud of my porch. I think that's really pretty. So you've got your separate outbuildings, so you've got your nectar area as well as your workers' accommodation for the ranch hands, and then the stable going around the back there. So it is a 6-horse stable. Really, kind of with a horse ranch, you kind of want to have like 6 horses, and then you want to have like 8 sims, and but you can't. I guess unless you have a mod, I don't know, but I don't have a mod for that, so I can't. But I think this came together really nicely. You've got like your training area for the horses, and you've got like some nice seating and entertainment areas for people to hang out in. And there's plenty of space and lots to do. So I think it's a house that could be really good for building skills in, and for the horse training and horse breeding, and for actually just living in. I think it's a practical but attractive build. That's my opinion though. You might have a different opinion, I don't know. So swinging around the outside, we're just going to come inside now and through to the kitchen and dining area. So as I mentioned, we've gone with a green theme on the inside of the master main house. It's like master bedroom, but no, main house. So I've just added a few bits of decoration here and there from what you probably would have seen. So yeah, so it's a bit more decorative and pretty. But it's all very much open plan in this bottom level. So you've got sort of like the dividing walls, just to, I guess, give the illusion of a bit of privacy for the different sections and that sort of thing. But it is still very, very open. But I really love that red in this game. I think it's pretty, and I love like the matching chairs and stuff. And then going through to the living area. So as I mentioned, I changed the green chairs through to the chocolate brown with the cow print on them again, because it was a bit too much green by the time you had the feature wall and the curtains. So I think that worked a little bit better. I think that's really pretty. It's a nice sort of cozy living area, and then you sort of see the rest of the downstairs, and then moving upstairs. So we're carrying on the green in one of the master bedrooms upstairs. So we've got 2 master bedrooms upstairs. Each of them have like a sitting room and a computer desk and a wardrobe and plenty of space to sit, and as well as a fireplace. So the plenty of rooms. I could have probably made this a 4-bedroom up here, but I honestly just didn't need the bedroom space. Then going through to the bathroom, which is pretty straightforward, just using the Horse Ranch wooden gear there on the bathroom, and then moving through to the second master bedroom, which is in the red theme. So carrying through the themes from downstairs to upstairs. Although I did build it in the reverse. And I do love this red and this grey. I think it's super pretty. Yeah, it's probably one of my favourite swatches, I think, from Horse Ranch. So that came out really nicely. I'm quite happy with that. It'd be quite comfy too. So then we are moving through to the nectar making office. So you can see the nectar maker there, and there's just like a little single bed and a wardrobe. So it's pretty basic. I mean, it's not meant to be somewhere you would live. It's just like if you get tired and just want to crash. And then going through to the workers' accommodation, which are more communal and more about sort of entertainment and having a bit of a blow off steam release in the evenings when you get in from training the horses all day and having a bit of human interaction, I think. So you can see sort of the lovely Horse Ranch dining table with the cow print chairs and a lovely big kitchen, and then the bunk rooms here. So you got like a boxing thing, the easel, a chess set and a guitar, and then through to the four persons bedroom, which has the double bed. And that's about our build. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.